Hi everyone, and welcome to Mimi's Watercoloring World. And this is going to be lesson 2. And what we're going to start out with is what we were supposed to do last week for practice. I wanted you to draw an apple or a big circle and put a stem on it, and then color the apple with just one red color that you get from layering. So let's do this together before we go over what we're going to do today. So I'm going to choose a red, and I think I'm going to go with this. Well, no, I'm going to go this darker. This is more true red. And like I said last week, we're going to start out layering. So of course we want our first layer to be pretty light, right? Alright. So we're going to come in with our first layer. We decided that our sun was coming in from here, so we'll definitely keep that in mind. Just a little more water. No, I don't want to add any more color right now. I got out of the lines a little bit, so I'm just simply going to wet my brush with clear water. Tap that right there, and just pick that right back up where it got out of the line, and there we go. And this is where the light will be hitting our apple, so we're keeping it a little lighter. So your first layer would have looked something like that. And we're going to let that dry while we talk about our second lesson for next week. And this is still using the same concept, except for you're going to use 3 different colors. Now, I've drawn 2 acorns because that's what's in the book. But you can do 2 big circles. It doesn't matter. It's not the drawing we're after, it's the painting. So, you're going to choose 3 colors. Alright? I'm going to choose a brown and a yellow, and then like a red brown for my acorns. Okay, so I'm going to use these 3 colors. So choose 3 colors. I went ahead and pulled them from the pan so I can make some room for my colors. I'm just working out of my pan today. And starting with my lightest color, which is kind of my umber, I guess, burnt umber. And it's my first layer, so I'm going to go in light with it. And just come in. Get my first layer on. Now, we're going to assume the sun is coming straight at these. So they need to be a little lighter, kind of in the center. So I'm just going to pick up a little of this color right here on the center where it's laying down. Uh-oh, moved out of frame, didn't I? So we're just kind of keeping that a little lighter. We'll pick up some more color, and we'll do this one over here. Like I said, it doesn't have to be acorns. It can be a round ball. The point is just get the practice and get down the technique of layering. And again, I'm going to pick up a little right here in the middle, because that's where our highlight is. Okay. And we're definitely having to let that layer dry. So while that's happening, what to do with our apple? Let's bring the apple back over while that's drying. And the apple is ready for the second layer. So pull my red back over. And this time I'm definitely going to go in a little darker because this is my second layer. And I'm just going to start over. Just like I did the last time. Just adding my other layer. Pick up a little more. And then again, this part is still lighter, but it gets another layer just like the rest of the apple. But it's just a lighter layer. And there we go. Now we're letting our second layer of our apple dry. And I'm going to pull my acorns back in. Okay. Now I want to do a layer of the brown. So we're going to get us a little brown out. Remember, choose 3 colors. Make a ball, whatever you want to color. Making sure that's a light for our first application. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to come in. Just adding that darker color. And again, we're going to lift some of this off to keep our highlight going. And then we're going to come over here and get this one. I'm not being very painstakingly careful on the edges for the sake of time and being able to show you guys the whole thing. And there we go. We're letting this dry. That's our second layer. We're going to bring back our apple. And we're going to go ahead and put our third layer on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into that color because I want some of it full strength. This is my darker layer. Pick up some of my paint and go in here for the darker layer. And now you really see it start to come alive. Picking up more. And more. Go up here for a little bit of dark around their stem. And then we're going to just bring out our dark while keeping our beautiful highlight. Alright. A little more blending where the highlight starts. Oh, that just looks awesome. There's our highlight. And then, of course, we've got a little green stem up here. So we're going to start with the light green after we get all the red out of our brush. Start with the light green. And that's way too much water in my brush. Okay, now we're going to let that dry just a little, and then we're going to put in a darker green for some definition and shadow. Now that's looking pretty good. The end of my apple kind of got a little wonky, so I'm going to go in and fix it. Or the edge, I guess. And just a little bit of bleeding there. There we go, that's much better. And there you have it, guys. That is the apple. Using one color, I get all of my shadowing and definition. You just have to be patient and let the layers dry in between. So that was last week's homework. Now, this is this week's homework. I'll put this last layer on, and then we will fine detail this as we start our next class. So, y'all need to be practicing the apple. Continue to color the apple, any colors, practice other colors as well. And have your acorns ready next week with these 3 washes already on them. So here's my red. I'm going to get some of it, put on our last color. Oh, it's very red too. I'm just going to go in and add just a little bit of red to my little acorns. A little more. This one over here. Oh, I definitely got way too much red on that one, didn't I? Yeah. Right in the highlighted spot too. So I'm just going to try to lift some of that off, and there we go. There's my highlight back. Okay, I'm going to stop here, guys. And next week we will finish our acorns and start another lesson. From Virginia, thanks so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, please hit that sub button. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And we'll be talking to you really soon. Bye-bye.